Greetings petrol heads, my name is the Tom, you're on my gaming channel, and it's time for another episode of Automation, the car company tycoon game. So today I'm gonna be building a replica requested by YouTube user Mackietosh, and it's going to be a Mercedes, say it with me, CLK 63 AMG Black Series. Now that the name alone took like half a minute to say, I'm actually gonna go ahead and should I put it in 2007 or 2008? I guess it doesn't really matter, but obviously this is the body shell we're gonna use. Like, I don't even think there's much dispute here. I think this is about how we wanna go. How far we wanna go with this bonnet here. Make this like flat. Gorgeous. And then the basic shape is pretty much there already. We only need to make this a little bit shorter. And the front windshield a little. Yeah, there we go. Other than that, I think the back window's fine. Maybe it's just a little bit more like so, and then we're good to go. Now, this time I've made something I have not done before, with for better or for worse. And that is, apart from the chassis, I could not find the specs of the chassis really. I'm assuming it's gonna be an aluminum monocoque, because steel would just be obnoxious on an expensive AMG model. And the wishbone front and rear, if I'm not mistaken, and then aluminum body, probably. And the wheel arches, like, I still don't know what kind of tires it's running. I think it's got at the very least, 275s in the rear end. And if it does, then it probably has like 245, 255s up front. That's usually the kind of relation you want to have. So let's get right into the fixture section here. To be honest, there are more difficult replicas than this one, but it's still a pretty cool car overall, I gotta admit. That's why I'm actually making it. So this is not the grill we want, unfortunately. This? How's this look once it's on there? Yeah, I think we're actually gonna go with this. And it's gonna be about like here. Or is this the... Let's see, maybe we have a different option as well. So that was this one. Down here we have basically nothing that resembles that grill. The only other option we would have is use this one and then put the chrome in ourselves, but I think it does not look as close as that one, just from the outer shape of it. So yeah, we're gonna put the automation patch on it, pretty much like this, like a real Mercedes, really. Then there's a little bit of space between the grille and the headlights. And then there's the headlights. There's not much more to it than that. They are at a little bit of an angle, like so. Not much, but a little bit. And then the second one is bigger. And it touches the first one ever so slightly. It overlaps a little bit. This one needs to be a little bit wider though. I think this is pretty much it. Or do we wanna... I think we actually wanna replace these with these, which do have these little light bulbs inside of them, which these do not. So yeah, I think at least the outer one should really be this one, should really be done with this fixture instead. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So there is that. As far as I can see, we do have a small lip at the very bottom of this front end. Not obnoxiously thick, so this will have to do for now. And then we have a grill that is basically this one turned upside down. Not quite, but can we get any closer is the real question. This looks tempting at first glance, but I think it's more like that one, even though this is still a little bit buggy in a sense that you can see through it. But anyway, we're only using this for aesthetics purposes here, not to, you know, insult whoever it was that actually built this for automation, because this is contained in a mod pack, so it's not in your standard game yet. Gotta download it, and therefore I want to give credit to all those talented modders out there who take their time to actually produce awesome parts like this for automation that really makes sense and are not overly unrealistic and so on. But I also just as much credit to those who actually build parts that are a little bit shall we say far from reality, because it's fun to build cars that are, you know, a little bit unconventional per se, and that's why, oh, why did I rotate those? And that's why I want to give credit to all the modders out there, really. I'd like to know how to do such things myself, but I don't. Actually, those parts go like, let me give this a second look. So the grill goes, further. It goes, excuse me, like here, and then these actually it's not even that convinced anymore that these are the fixtures to go for. But I think they're still the closest we can have, so might as well embrace them. And then on the sides, what do we do about those things on the sides? Which, oh wait, we could use some. Oh yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about right here. Even though they're a little bit too big. Like they extend a little bit too far to the outside, but just for aesthetic purposes, I think they're fine. They're totally fine. Another part from the mod pack, by the way. You will be able to download the mod pack from a link in the description. Obviously it now looks a little bit funny from this perspective. But it's what we got, so we gotta make use of it. And then the last thing I wanna do here is the indicators, which have a little bit of a funny shape. So we're gonna use some of these right here to help us out, because it's basically shaped exactly like that. So let's put this right here, and then all we gotta do really is to is to place the indicators so that they would fill out the vent here that we just put down. After that, you can go ahead and delete the vent because you don't need it anymore. At the same time, if you're gonna overlap it entirely, you're like, it's not disturbing anymore. You can't see it anyway. So therefore, we're gonna place this down like so. And then just try and follow the curve of this fixture. And once we're done with this, we can fill out the inner area of this whole arrangement, and it's gonna look like one indicator part. And that's the beautiful thing about this whole shenanigans. And then, once we put this down appropriately, that's not it. More like that. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now that we're done with this, we're gonna put down probably just one big fixture here. Right in the middle. No, we're gonna need more than one. Okay, whatever. Just put one like here. And then put one like there. Okay. Now we got the indicators as well. And leading up to those indicators, it has I don't even know how to do that kind of thing. We can try putting these down, but that's not gonna look like much of anything really. So I guess I'm happy with what we got so far. And also, it does have a small patch on the bonnet, like right here. I don't know what that is, but I guess it could be, you know, an AMG patch or something like that. So the door handles are basically these, also contained in the mod pack. And then on the rear end, I think, like, there's two options as far as I can see. You could have the car with a lip like this, only that it wasn't messed up like that. So you could have a lip, or you could have a big wing. Wait, can you do it this way? No, come on. There is a small area of tolerance up here. Come on. No, not like that. Not like that. Like this. No, that's not how it went. But closer. No. Okay, so it doesn't really want me to put it down accordingly. So let's just leave it like this. Or maybe if we turn it around, oh, then you can't see that at all. Let's just leave it like this, and then for the taillights, I'm going to go for some of these rounded taillights, make them oval. Make sure that they don't create any holes. And then, okay, now here's the thing. I wanna see if these will actually be visible if I put them down here. That would help me out a great deal. Partly. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna delete those and instead use white indicators to create what I want. Actually, the problem with those white indicators is, well, let's leave that off for a second here. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut off big part of those oval, actually the smaller part of the oval taillights. Parallel to this boot line, if you will, like this, and then, you know, just cover all of that. All of the area to the left is what I'm gonna cover here. Because that'll leave us with a shape that we can actually use to create the taillights, since there's no taillights in the game yet that, you know, resemble a CLK 63 AMG, or just a regular CLK for that matter. So we're gonna do our due diligence here. Actually, I don't know why I even placed that one down. But I'm going to use this and then move it over like so, and then make sure we make this upper area a little bit smoother by running another one of these like so. So that it's not that obvious that we used some magic. And now we get this half of the taillights left. We are going to place some of these down in such a way that that this part is left. And basically we got the CLK taillights here. There we go. Then we're gonna put down the number plate, which is like right here. Yeah. Actually, the taillights are a little bit bigger than that. We can make do with that. We can do it. If we just make this a little longer. Not wider, longer please. And Q. And then make this a little bit longer. And then make these a little bit bigger. That's more like it. Good. And this goes further down like so. And then basically the rear bumper is kind of simplistic. All we need really is, I mean, you could just as well go for this and be totally fine. Let's see how big proportionally is this. About like that. And then you can just put down the exhaust right here. And that is basically it then. Yeah. This lip just looks silly, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's close to we can get, really. And yeah, those things right here also look silly. I guess I'm just gonna replace these with some of these. They do their job as well, like honestly. Oh my god. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay. And now of course we're gonna say that it's, oh, what kind of color do we want? White? Yeah, sure. Does it not have a Mercedes badge on the rear end? Oh yes, it does. I completely forgot about putting down the badge. Like here. Color wise, yeah, we could go for white. We could also go for black, because it's the black series anyway. It actually doesn't look that bad in black, I gotta admit. And obviously rear-wheel drive. So this is the Mercedes CLK 63 AMG. Oh, we're gonna name it a little bit later. So it does have the that is the M156 engine. It's a V8 made from aluminium with dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, aluminium head, no VVL. Excuse me? M156. That's the, I don't know what this model is called of the engine, but it's the basic version. Obviously there has been a detuned version of this engine in the C63 AMG with about 50 less horsepower. But anyway, the bore is 102.2 and the stroke is 94.6. There we go, 6208. And we got, the crank is definitely not cast iron, that's what I read out of that, but I do not know whether it's forged or billet steel. Since AMG is a very expensive brand and has high-tech high-tech features in their workshops, I think it's gonna be billet steel. And I would be surprised if it had any other converts than titanium. it is an expensive engine after all. And probably forged pistons if I had to guess. Actually in that, yeah, probably more like ideal steel Conrads. Now that I look at it. Anyway, of course we're gonna color this black and give it a different color like this. Awesome. Now I could not work out the compression ratio. I'm guessing it's somewhere around 11.2 or something like that. Cam profile has gotta be quite aggressive, like 70, which is not overly aggressive. And since actually most modern engines in general have some sort of variable valve timing, I'm gonna go for a VVT here. It is naturally aspirated. It has direct injection with, let me check. Actually that looks more like it looks almost like multi-point injection with performance intake. That's what that looks like. Twin? No, single configuration. Let's just see. Premium gas. I don't know about the fuel mixture, probably more like 13 to 1. Ignition timing is going to be relatively advanced. And then the red line is, I think, 6800 RPM. No, that's where it makes its peak power, so 7000, I guess. Long turbo exhausts, dual exhausts obviously, and we're looking forward to make 507 horsepower. No, but the mufflers, so... Oh, we're making too much power actually, but not enough torque. Oh, we're too high in compression. We're making way too much power actually. And too much torque as well. We only need 630 Newton meters, where we make 651. So let's lower the cam profile actually. Oh, this is... yeah, 638. 540. Now, here's the thing. How do I not lose very much torque, but lose power quite effectively? Because we only want 507 horsepower. Let's actually go for the... oh, it's not the Conrads that are causing reliability issues. But we have a little bit of valve float. Just a tiny bit, as it's still green here. But the pistons are the concern here. So let's go for lightweight forged. It does make the torque at 5250 RPM only, so it is a very rev hungry engine. Therefore, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna increase the cam profile until I make the peak torque at 52 or 5300 RPM. And now I'm gonna decrease the fuel mixture, or basically lean it out, which also means I'm gonna have to decrease the compression a little bit. We're making so much excessive power, like we're making way too much. And now the power comes in a little bit too late. I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about this one a little bit for how do we make the torque stay the same but decrease the power substantially. We could, I don't know, here's the thing, I'm probably gonna decrease the cam profile back to about like this, and then decrease the ignition timing as well. until we like 70. Yeah, we're still making way too much power though. I don't know why. So let us see. $5,000, 4,800. Let's see when we are going to get our peak torque at 5,200 RPM. Still not the case. Maybe if we go for a high cam profile again. There we go. 622, 623, 625, 627, and now we're knocking. Okay. 627, and now we're knocking again. There we go. I mean, 555 horsepower is not a bad number. I could go for 507 horsepower, but less torque than 630 newton meters. That's what I could go for. But do I really want to? There has been a version of this engine that produced 555 horsepower, if I'm not terribly mistaken. Or was that its successor, the M157 with the 5-liter twin turbo? I don't know, but I don't want to spend half an hour only tuning the engine, so let's just go ahead. It did have an automatic gearbox, if I'm not mistaken. Only 5 speeds available in 2008? Okay, in that case, let's go for a 6-speed manual. That seems like the better choice. It did have an LSD, but what kind of? Probably geared LSD? Probably. The top speed was 300 kilometers an hour, where it was limited, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Second gear probably went about to 100 kilometers an hour. Then sports tires, I think 18-inch rims. Which means it has basically no tire left once we, like, no tire profile, once we actually make these tires wider. What kind of rims does this thing have? Actually, yeah. These look the closest to a real car, so let's keep it that way. Alloy wheels, vented discs. I could not find that much information on the brakes either. Like, I'm guessing it's around 350 millimeters, more like 340 millimeters on the front end, and then probably like about 305 or 300 millimeters on the rear end. Excuse me. And it probably has fully clad under tray. Then it does not make all that much downforce, as we know from, you know, the fact that it really likes to drift, which could be seen on numerous videos by different car magazines, like not only Top Gear, also Chris Harris on cars. We do know that for the Black Series they've taken the rear seats out, so it only has 2 seats remaining. With a sports interior, I really would say that, and basic entertainment. It does have traction. And stability control, yeah. Does not have launch control as far as I know. Maybe the automatic does, but the manual does not. Actually, does it even have a manual option, or is that other option the sequential gearbox? I don't know. Safety has pretty much gotta be advanced. Otherwise it would be kinda suicidal. Monotube dampers, sway bars are probably semi-active. Even though it sounds kinda weird. Because I just don't think they fit regular passive sway bars in a car like this. And the dampers... adaptive, actually, probably. Let's go for a sport setup with slightly raised ride height. And we get a car that weighs 1444.9 kilograms, which seems kind of realistic. Drivability is really good at almost 57. It is too slow though. 5.1 seconds. Yeah, down to this. Electric LSD does get us down to 4.7 seconds, excuse me. Automatic gearbox does have with wheel spin, but not with the acceleration. However, we are obviously going to change the gearing here. 4.8 seconds. What about the sequential 6-speed, where the second gear goes like 4.6 seconds. The real car actually does it in 4 seconds flat. So I don't know. Better tires? 4.5. More rear downforce? 4.5 still. This does not help, but obviously this being a game, it'll not be, like, the figures are not 100% accurate, but the top speed is as good as 300 kilometers an hour, so it doesn't really get much closer than that. And it does sound really good. Now we all know that this car is not particularly fast around the airfield track. It did a 126 in real life. It's actually substantially faster here. And the quarter-mile time is really good as well. What does it actually do? $11.88. That's really good. So, there's the Black Series. And now that we refresh this, I think we can be happy with this. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, click the like button, helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.